Hey everybody, just getting my running shoes on, because I'm playing Project Elite. And I'll have to tell you, my first game, whew, we barely made it home. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about this game and why ours was such a nail biter. In Project Elite, players are teamed up and have particular missions to accomplish before the aliens overrun the area. Any of the aliens who are spawning on the opposite end of the map, if they cross through the terrain and they reach the starting zone, all is lost, you gotta start over. One of the other things that ends the game for the players is if, the end of round 8, they haven't accomplished their goal and returned all the way back to the starting zone. None of the heroes can die. If any of the heroes die, the game is lost. So there's a lot stacked up against the heroes in this case, and I found that to be very exciting and tension-ridden. The other thing that makes this game super fun is that each round you are timed. 2 minutes is all you get to take as many actions as you can roll on your dice. The hitch? If you roll the alien icon, you have to move an alien forward when it's not their turn. The dice that the players roll have these icons on them. The first is the alien icon, which just says that one alien moves 1 space in a direction that's legal for them. Again, that has to be played before any of the other dice are activated. The other one is the 4 arrows in a cross, that is your movement. The other is a wrench. A wrench is going to allow you to activate guns and or items depending on that particular icon being shown on that card. There's also the search icon, and that's the magnifying glass. Players can search 1 space per round. Once it's been searched, it can't be searched again until the next round. There is a finger pushing a button that activates things, and again, you'll see that icon on particular cards. And lastly, there is the gun symbol. The gun symbol is most likely going to show up on the weapon cards, but they also showed up on our mission squares, which was the exterminate. And again, you're doing all of this in 2 minutes. Fortunately, heroes get set up with a beginning weapon. You flip over more weapons than there are players, and then players get to select the one that they want. For me, I know I am a low roller, and that seems statistically impossible that all I do is roll 1s. But if you ask anybody who plays games with me, particularly my husband, they will say, yep, Kim rolls 1s, that's it. So, I saw the weapon that hit on a 2+ on a 6-sided die, and it was from 3 distance away, so I had some range. The problem is that I only got to roll 1 die, which could only do 1 point of damage. That's okay. I'd rather get a sure hit, close to sure hit, than rolling to try to get a 5 or a 6 and never hitting. Because my husband is so much better at rolling, he picked the gun that was a 5+ to hit, but he got to roll 2 dice. So there was the possibility that he could hit 2 targets in 1 particular gun activation. In our very first round, we raced out, and, well, I say raced out, but we really just plodded out. I think I moved 3 spaces in my very first turn. I did not even reach a search place. And when you search, you can't search there until the very next turn. So I was kind of not armed well, and I felt like, oh no, first round, I walked 3 spaces, didn't kill any aliens, and didn't search. Oh boy. I mean, this is gonna be a pickle game. But the very next round, I searched and I got a really fantastic weapon. And the reason I picked that weapon was because in that very first round, we also drew an elite monster, and our elite monster was the Gorgon. We flipped that card over and I saw 7 hit points, and I've got 1 gun that shoots 1 bullet. Oh crap, this is just going to be devastating. The Gorgon's either gonna kill us or just race right on into the start. So when I searched in the second round, because I finally got to a search place, I bought a rocket launcher. That's right, I can hit in a straight line, infinity, as far as I want. I have to hit on a 4, 5, or 6, and my die gets locked for that round. Dice that get locked can't come back to you until the following round, and players are only given 4 dice. The more you get hurt, the more you lose your dice as well. And if you complete missions, it might require your dice to get locked on a particular side. We needed to place gun icons on these extermination squares, and it required 3 or 4. Now, in a 2-player game, that's hard to do because we only have 4 dice each. Fortunately, in our 3rd round, as the Gorgon approached our abandoned lab, Lewis and I funneled out of the building doors, and we stood right in front of him, and we're just like, ah! And it was awesome. It was amazing. We were freaking out. Dice were flying everywhere. And at the end of that round, we were just like out of breath, walking around the joint. After that, we fought just the basic monsters because our draw deck didn't bring us any of those elite monsters again. I think it would have been pretty exciting had we seen an elite monster towards the 7th or 8th round. But we were looking at 24 or 25 of these basic monsters. There were biters, shooters, and runners. All 3 of those basic monsters have a unique movement and ability that they do before they move. And when you have swarms and swarms of aliens spawning out of these 3 pits at the end of the board, and then they're just mass racing down the board at you and you're stuck in the middle. At the end of the 3rd round, after we killed the Gorgon, I got all this movement, and so I raced across and I was trying to get this one guy who was sneaking around the corner, and if he snuck around the corner, we were never going to catch him and he was going to run straight into home base. So I race after this guy trying to kill him, and I only miss on a 1, and I rolled, it was like 3, 2, 1, and I rolled a 1, so I missed. Fortunately, my character that I picked at the beginning of the game had a special ability that lets me move 3 spaces at the end of my turn, or to activate one of my guns that's not locked. And so I was able to try again, and I killed him, but there were 3 other shooters. They were in range of me, and they all rolled, and they all rolled 4, 5s, or 6s. I rolled them myself because, of course, when I roll for myself, I roll a 1, but when I roll for the bad guys, I rolled all hits. And so I got hit 3 times. I was right at the limit of losing one of my dice. I had not lost my dice because of health yet, and it was seriously the funniest thing in the entire game. We're losing it because, again, I just got hit for 3. Lewis got attacked 4 times and got 1 hit because he's rolling for himself with the monsters and he knows how to roll better when it's not him and the damage is coming his way. And now we're surrounded by all these aliens. We're in the thick of it. I'm thinking there's no way. So going into the 4th round, he looks at his side and he says, I'll get these guys. And so I said, then I'll get those guys. And then the next round, we did it. We did just that. We murdered all of them and it was glorious. Still, did not complete any of our stated missions that we had to do before the end of the game. We're getting kind of nervous and worried about it. Lewis got hit again and lost one of his dice, and so now he's rolling with 3 dice. I'm rolling with 4 dice. We're wondering how the heck are we going to do this? So the next 3 turns, we walked up to one of our missions and we just locked our dice in, shot our guns, and then tried to kill some aliens. Next round, did the same thing, walked all the way across the board, went to the other mission, the extermination square, did the same thing. Coming into round 8, we still had 1 more left, and it was the furthest one all the way by the spawn spots. And we say, well, let's do this. The aliens spawned, they moved, we started the 2-minute timer, and Lewis dumps 2 of his 3 dice onto our mission, and then I had to do the other 2. We are stuck on the opposite end of the board, surrounded by aliens, and we have to make it all the way back to the starting zone. He's got 1 die with a 1 out of 6 chance to roll a movement, and we rolled like heck, and we were just roll the whole way back. And within 6 seconds, Lewis crossed the start line where I was waiting, going, "Go on!" It was so emotional, it was so fun. There's a strategy to it, but you also have to be able to think on your feet, and you have to just be prepared to change your plan in the middle of your 2 minutes, because you can't stop, you can't talk, you can't do that much other than roll your dice and just try to activate your guns and try to activate your items and try to kill monsters along the way and get those missions accomplished and try to move at the same time. Moving is so hard. It's so hard. Project Elite, what a great, fun, collaborative game. The one thing we forgot to do after we killed the Gorgon was to get alien tech. I think our game might have been a little bit better if we'd had the alien tech. You always get one card, you draw 3 and you pick one after you kill an elite. And we just forgot to do that because we were just so excited we killed him, right? I mean, that feels like a victory in and of itself that we just didn't automatically die. Also, I'm super excited about all the minis that are in this box that I have the potential to paint. I think all the heroes have really, really wonderful detail. If you take a look at these, dang, they have so much potential for amazing artwork. So if you like minis and you want to paint something, Project Elite has those as well. Get your running shoes on for Project Elite because there is so much going on. You are gonna want to be able to pivot and be flexible because this game asks you to think in the minute and respond and just go with it. You're gonna have a great time with Project Elite.